So, my mom is on the phone with some lady. She keeps talking to me. And then she said, "That Halls candy that you keep eating, I don't like that. You're not allowed to record." She's on the phone right now with my mom. Sorry, I just got a message. And it said that that lady is trying to create a monopoly on, like, everything. So, yeah. Oh, sorry, that's my finger. Yeah, so that lady is trying to monopolize everyone's houses and, like, companies and stuff like that. I'm just gonna go see who she's talking to because that lady's a fucking bitch, dude. A fucking bitch. You're not allowed to vibe. All I was doing is listening to music. She told me I'm not allowed to fucking vibe and listen to music. Mày nói cho ai về?
Mẹ nói chuyện với chị ở bên Việt Nam.
Mẹ cứu phone được không? Con không có nhà nó nói.
Ok.
Mẹ cứu phone đi.
Mẹ lấy điện thoại nghe mà. Ok. Đó, thành thử ra cô.
So my mom held, it was super loud and my mom was holding it close to her ears. Yeah. I don't know. Probably not gonna put this video. What? You want me to put so Lucifer is telling me that he wants me to post that video just to give that lady a warning because Lucifer just does not like that lady. I don't know. I don't really want to make too many videos. I feel like I made too many already. But, you know, like, the war just rages on. There's just a bunch of people, dude. There's, like, so many people that want to fight, that want to argue all fucking day long. They just want to argue all fucking day long about the dumbest things. But that lady was so fucking annoying. Yeah, Dylan is saying, oh, so that's a different lady. So what happened is that there was a younger lady talking to me on the phone, and then the second I came outside, it was a different lady who started talking, and they're trying to disforiate me. They're trying to disforiate me. How many people are on the phone? How many people are trying to talk to me through the fucking phone? But that lady on that phone, she was talking to me. And it's so annoying because every single time my mom is on the phone, they all fucking talk to me without my consent. Without my consent. They just keep on talking and talking and talking. You crazy bitch. You're not allowed to vibe. Turn that shit off right now. I don't want to hear it. That Halls candy you keep on eating, I don't like it. Stop eating it. Stuff like that. Stuff like that. Chau's so fucking selfish. Chau's so fucking selfish. How's your dad? How's your dad? Is he okay? Is he okay? Well, I think that you're the fucking problem. Stuff like that. And they would just say stuff like that on the fucking phone. So anyways, guys, I think I'm gonna end the video here. But that lady is such a fucking problem. Who was that lady, by the way? She was the Vietnam news lady. She was the Vietnam news lady on the Vietnam channel. And she kept talking shit about me. She kept talking shit about me on the Vietnam news channel in Vietnamese language. She calls my mom on the fucking phone. Actually her, right? Yeah, I can't remember because I think I unsubscribed, but I might have the channel linked somewhere. But she was like, Cho, act? Cho's fucking evil. She said that. Cho, act? And then she's like saying, Cho. She was saying like, Cho has faults. Cho có lỗi. And then she was saying things like a bunch of things. So when I speak Vietnamese, they actually auto-tune my voice. So you guys can't really hear it. And I understand why now, because a bunch of Vietnamese people, fake Vietnamese people, the dirty Vietnamese people, like they just speak Vietnamese all day and they don't want them to hear how I speak Vietnamese. They don't want them to hear it correctly because they weaponize the Vietnamese language like crazy, dude. It's super evil what they did to the Vietnamese language. It's super fucking evil. Especially the gay guys. So fucking evil. Because it was like go. The word go, it means like auntie. Right? Or Mrs. Or Mrs. And then all of a sudden, go. Okay, so go means uncle on the mom's side. So it's go and then it's go. And it's two the same words but with like a different tone to it. A different like pronunciation or a different way to say it. That's what they're saying. And then ba, dad, and then ba. And then ba is grandma. Stuff like that. And they would just do stuff like that. So whatever word that I'm saying and they hear, they're going to tell my mom to say to Cho, no, Cho, that's not what that means. Are you dumb? Are you stupid? That word means this. That word means this. So you're using it wrong. So start speaking Vietnamese correctly or else. Stuff like that. So they don't want me. And they were doing that all the fucking time. All the fucking time. So my brothers and sisters, I would ask them, oh, so what does that mean in Vietnamese? Because you guys said it. Oh, so it means this. This is what it means. And then 2 weeks later, it's like, no, Cho, like, no, that's not what it means. You're so dumb, Cho. This is what it means. This is what it means. Okay? So stop saying it like that. Stop saying it like that, for real. And the reason why is because there's just a bunch of evil people that would do that to the Vietnamese language. And they still continue to do stuff like that till this day. So pretty much like there was an incident where there was a ugly ass word that meant like round and it meant yong. Alright? Yong. And then after that, I was like, someone kept saying jong, jong, jong. No, it was jong. So jong, it meant round. And then someone kept saying yong, yong, yong. So I was like, oh, so it's like round, right? I was like, what, Cho? No. Yong means crunchy. I was like, what the fuck do you mean? Yong means fucking crunchy. That shit don't make no fucking sense. That is the shittiest thing I've ever heard in my fucking life. It's obviously fucking round. Jong has always been fucking round. And Yong is just a different fucking, like, they just fucking, a play on fucking words. Because people do shit like that. There's no way in hell that fucking Yong means fucking crunchy. And then ever since then, everyone in Vietnam now says Yong. Yong, huh? Yong, huh? And it means, isn't it crunchy? Isn't it fucking crunchy? And then that was like a new thing. So that lady that I got into an argument with, and I don't remember the channel, because she was that lady that was all of a sudden trying to talk about how Vietnam was so fucking poor that they had to fucking harvest fucking used plastic bottles from the fucking sea. Recycled bottles, and then turn it into plastic that they were going to use to make houses from now on. So that, do you guys remember that lady? And then that lady was actually really excited about that news because she wanted plastic houses, right? That lady, she was fucking talking shit about me in every single Vietnam news video. And I mean every single one of them. Every single one of them, she insults me. She's not actually Vietnamese. And what happened to that lady is that she has been, what do you call that? Excommunicated by Vietnam. She was banned from Vietnam forever. She was never allowed to enter Vietnam again. And the reason why is because she kept talking shit about the Princess of Vietnam. So Dark Pastel, big fucking deal. Big fucking deal in Vietnam. She is Vin Pearland. She is best friends with Jenny and Linda. Vun and Minxie. Vun and Minxie are Chau's cousin. So those girls, very high class girls. Very high class girls, more than you think. Think stuff like that. So what's happening is that because that lady kept on talking shit about the 1%, so the CEO daughter of Vietnam, pretty much Chau's family owns all of Vietnam, pretty much the entire world. That lady got kicked out of Vietnam. And Dylan is saying, and pretty much in every single country in the fucking world. And that's how bad the situation got for that lady. So that lady, I'm probably gonna link a video to her. But that lady, she got kicked out of every single country in the world because my family owns all of the capitals in all of the world. We built your houses for you. We built those businesses for you. You don't know how to make a house. You don't know how to make plastic. You don't know how to make fucking wood. You don't know how to make pencils. It's extremely difficult to make that stuff. So she got kicked. That lady got kicked out of Vietnam. She got kicked out of Vietnam. She got kicked out of the United Kingdom, all of Europe. She got kicked out of America, out of Canada. She got kicked out of China, Asia, all that. All that because she kept on talking shit about me on official Vietnam news. And she took over the channel. And I remember one day she was talking to my mom on the phone. And I remember, wait a minute, isn't she that lady? And my mom was saying, yep, it was her. And she's saying that our fake dad invited her to talk to my mom. And she said, don't, because she kept talking shit about me. And Dylan is saying she secretly regrets it because she got kicked out of every single country in the world because my family owns the entire world. The reason why my family owns this entire world, okay, guys, is because my husband, Jesus Christ, is a God. He is a God, okay? And what's happening is that guy is just capable of creating a planet just out of magic. And he designed everything. He designed all of the houses, all of the businesses, all of the cars, all of the pencils, all of the paper, plastic bins, like everything that you guys need, the light bulbs, everything was created by my husband, Jesus Christ. And he was able to create this planet and this world. So he owns the entire world, no matter what. Japan, anime, cartoons, movies, all of that. He owns everything. And yeah, it's super difficult for an earthling to understand how smart a god can be. A a god and what do you call that? A muggle, right? Is two separate, different species. You guys are just literally not the same thing. You guys are literally just not the same thing. And then that's just simply it. But Jesus Christ is a God, and this is his world and his planet. And you guys actually invaded the planet Earth, is pretty much what it was. You guys invaded the planet Earth because you guys heard that the most beautiful people in all existence live on Earth. And that is Americans, the American gods. And you guys decided to protest against them out of jealousy and racism. Such as, oh, well, there are no gods because how can you be a god when you kind of look like me? When they don't. When you guys look at white American people, when you guys see Asian people standing next to freaking white people, white American people, you should immediately understand they're not the same fucking thing. And that they actually should not be standing next to each other at all. They really just should not. They are two separate, different species. And Asian people, okay, Earthlings, they're just not capable of magic. They're uglier and they're just not that freaking smart. The white American person is like smart. Magic and everything. Magical beings. And that's just simply it. A god standing next to a fucking peasant. Two separate different things. That's how you should always think about it. Every single time you see a white American person, you should probably automatically assume, oh, that person is a god. And I should be a bit more careful around this person and a bit nicer. A bit nicer if I can. Because this person is a god. Those people secretly get mad. And sometimes you never know. But anyways, so that Asian lady from the Vietnam news, she kept talking shit about me. But I am a god. Even if it might not seem like it, I am a god. Technically, secretly, behind the scene, pretending to be a muggle. And she kept talking shit about me and my family. So she got kicked out of every single country in the world. And now she is a wanted fugitive. And yeah, so that lady, guys, was talking. She was on the phone with my mom just right now. Today. And no one likes her. No one likes her. She stole the Vietnamese. They always do that. They always steal Vietnamese accents. So they always steal Vietnamese accents. And it's kind of like, it was a really nice accent. Who did it? They kept saying it was Chinese. They keep saying, oh, it's the Chinese accent. Oh, it's the Chinese accent. It was like those like Chinese girls that sound really cute and sound really innocent. Kind of like Yumi King, that Chinese girl. So that accent. And that accent was actually a Vietnamese accent. And it was a very pretty accent. And back at church, a lot of the Vietnamese girls kept using that accent. And eventually they liked that accent enough because it was very very delicate, very feminine, very soft, very nice voice. And sometimes my mom, she has that accent too. She knows how to speak. She knows how to speak in that Vietnamese English accent. It's very pretty. So when you hear Chinese girls kind of speak in like a very pretty like English accent, it's Vietnamese. Okay? So but because China kept fighting Vietnam and trying to say, "Oh, the dirty Vietnamese, the dirty Vietnamese, the dirty Vietnamese," so Vietnam had to rechange how they speak English, and it was always Gucci, Prada. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not really good at doing that accent, but that's how they expect Vietnamese people to talk. And it's a very ugly accent, and it's very upsetting. It's very upsetting for me to hear Vietnamese people speak English all the fucking time, when in reality China got mad at Vietnam because Vietnam had that pretty English accent. And so I never speak in that accent. I don't know how to sound or talk like that. But it was how do Chinese people say Coke, right? Do you guys remember that video? And then she kept saying Coke, and I kept remembering, wait a minute, that was Caitlin, that was Jenny and Linda's cousin. She was the one who was saying it like that. And they're saying, yeah, Cho, and the reason why is because that's the Vietnamese American accent. That's how Vietnamese people sound when they speak English. And China tried to steal the whole thing. They tried to steal the whole thing. So every single time, every single day, every single year, it was always the Chinese accent. The Chinese accent. This is how Chinese people sound when they speak English. So Vietnamese people had to get rid of it. And a lot of Vietnamese people don't sound like that anymore, but they do the very famous like ugly Vietnamese accent. And that other lady, the Vietnam news lady, found out that Vietnam also has a different American English accent because they had to develop a new accent and a new polite way to speak English just to be polite. So they did that. And so that lady got mad at Vietnam too, and we got in a fight over that accent. And this one had to be adultified. This one had to be a bit older and a bit more mature and a bit more, how do you say it? Dominating, apparently. That's a word that Chinese men like. Okay, a bit more of a dominant type of woman. A bit more confident. Because they don't like shy feminine girls. Because they are the femboys, right? So what happened is that guy, that man, that lady, she got mad at the Vietnam newscast because Vietnam had developed a new accent to speak English to the American people, but also to American Vietnamese people that wanted to know what was going on back in Vietnam. And so what she did is that she became deceitful, and she tried to deceive the world, and she tried to deceive especially Vietnamese people, and tried to make it seem like Vietnamese people actually fight each other, they hate each other, and they're not fucking friends. And she deceived the world, and she made it seem like she was Vietnamese, when in actuality she was like Japanese from Japan the whole fucking time. And she tried to steal that accent from Vietnam as well. And she tried to make it seem like, oh well, it's not our language because, you know, they just insult each other all day as Vietnamese people. But that lady, she has been talking to my mom on the phone every single day since my third time out of jail. So pretty much since, you're saying longer? Do I remember? Did she ever expose herself to me? How long has this been going on for? Probably since around the time I talked about her on my diary. Oh, okay, so pretty much Dylan is saying this that lady had been talking to my mom ever since I talked about her talking shit about me on my diary. So she was insulting me on my diary. Sorry guys. My family, I mean, in my community, we don't really talk like that. I'm just like I was raised on the talking shit type of language and not like okay. So anyways, she was like insulting me on international television, like she was doing it. So my fake dad True Nguyen invited her to possibly even become a part of my family, but now on the Chinese side of the family. And that's how bad it is. That's how bad it is in our family. So what happens is that the second that I talk about anyone in real fucking life, my dad, my fake dad, he's all over it. He's all over it. All of a sudden, he's going to try to talk to them. He's trying to manipulate the situation. He's trying to change the way everything fucking works so that everything becomes Cho's fucking enemy. And everybody hates fucking Cho and starts talking shit about Cho. Does that make sense? My stomach hurts right now. Someone sold their soul to the devil to get me to fucking need to fucking poop, dude. And it's that lady because she does not want to be on my channel. And she does not want to be exposed. And she just thought that, oh, well, Cho only watched a few of her videos, so she's not gonna fucking, this or that, talk about it or recognize it. But she did. I did recognize that it was her. But I never said anything. So what would happen is that she would be on newscasting like videos that my mom would watch, and then she would actually it was like she was live streaming. It was like she was live streaming and then she was talking to my mom on like Instagram or on YouTube. But without like the live stream, like they took off the live stream like button or that logo, but she was like live streaming at the time and talking to me through the phone, but that she also calls my mom on the phone, so that lady has my mom's phone number. And so the reason why I never talk about the people at my school too much, the reason why I never did it and I never really posted their pictures on my internet, on my diary, and the reason why is because I knew that guy True Nguyen, my fake fucking dad, was gonna be the biggest piece of fucking shit in everyone's fucking life. I just fucking knew. I just fucking knew. Screaming, crying. You hurt me, you hurt me, you hurt me! You hurt me! Shit like that. Shit like that. Like that was gonna fucking happen. So I was smart enough to just know. To never, ever, ever look at anyone's fucking Facebook fucking pages. Because people, for some reason, always fucking knew. They were always dropping hints. They knew what I was doing on the fucking computer. Who I was fucking looking at. They always fucking knew. Fucking old people, dude. And then I just fucking knew not to talk about my classmates, my friends too fucking much. And I did not. I did not talk about them too fucking much because I knew that guy was going to come around and he was going to force them to do a bunch of things that they don't want to fucking do. Like call Cho the biggest fucking bitch. The most evil piece of shit everyone has ever fucking met or seen. and then forcing them to run errands for him, like buy him shit he don't fucking deserve. Stuff like that. So I never ever talk about people on my diary, especially because I just fucking knew that that guy was the worst fucking enemy in the world. But also because a bunch of kids at my school, especially the Mexican kids, dude, they were so fucking annoying. They were so fucking annoying about how much they just refuse and will not hang out with Mexican kids. They will not fucking do it. They were not gonna fucking do it. There were like 15 Mexican kids. 15 Mexican kids. Probably more is what Dylan is saying. Sitting around like a 5 to like 8 Asian group kid of friends, right? So there's really only 5 or 8 of us. Maybe no more than 10. 10 Asian kids, and there were like 20 Mexican kids, maybe even like more like 50 Mexican kids sitting around our group of friends, and they refused to talk to the other Mexican kids. And that's how it always fucking was. That's how it always fucking was at our fucking school. And then all of us would be like, man, they're not gonna fucking leave. They won't fucking leave. They won't hang out with each other. They won't talk to each other. They're always trying to fucking talk to the Asian kids. It was fucking disgusting. And then when they, trust me guys, when they grow up to become police officers, okay? When they grow up to become police officers, or they go off into the job field and in the work field, those Mexican men, they still were not capable of being friends with each other. And they might try to seem like they're talking to each other to make it seem like, oh, they have friends with each other. They're bluffing. They're pulling off a big fucking bluff. They're really not friends with each other. They were always trying to talk to everyone else except for other Mexican fucking men. So anyways, the other reason why I also just do not talk about my friends at school too fucking much is because those Mexican kids really pissed me the fuck off. I was not gonna update them where my fucking Asian friends are. That shit was fucking disgusting. Yeah, so there's some guy on the phone right now who's just said, Chau mutt yet. Yeah, so that guy's on like the Chinese side. And they just do shit like that all fucking day. They just call people stupid all fucking day. And then they get jealous that they're not fucking invited to hang out with like real Vietnamese people all the fucking time. And that's just how it is. But, yeah, so when my mom watches Vietnamese news videos, it was never a good thing. It was never a good thing to happen. And so my mom, she would scroll through Instagram. She would just scroll through Instagram, and it was like video after video. It was a different Vietnamese newscast channel. And all of them would start talking to her through the fucking phone, through the Instagram app, while speaking in the Vietnamese news dialect. And they were always trying to act like, oh, they're smarter than you. And he said, đúng vậy. They speak better than you. They're smarter than you. They know how to speak Vietnamese better than Vietnamese people. They know how to speak English better than American people. Stuff like that. And it was never a good thing. It was never a good thing that those people kept on trying to talk to my mom through the phone. But my mom is actually like Superman, right? So maybe not your mom, but my mom is like Superman. Like Lois Lane, right? and Superman, right? So my mom, her name kind of looks like Lois, kind of like that. She goes by Lori, but like it's kind of like that. Yeah, so they're talking shit about Drake. They're talking shit about Drake because look in the rear view mirror to look at the past and you'll crash again. But for hindsight, for him it's fine. What that means is, Cho, you're not allowed to look behind you ever. Cho, you're not allowed to look behind you, or else Mexican men will kill you. So that movie, that Drake going bad, Lori, they're actually talking about my mom. They're actually talking about my mom. They're not talking about Lori Harvey. They're not talking about Lori Harvey at all. That black girl, they're not talking about her. They're talking about Jenny Track. They're talking about Drizzy, Dylan, and they're talking about Lori, my mom. Do you understand? And they were trying to crash and hit her car just because they're fucking evil and they just fucking do shit like that to everyone. So anyways, my mom, Lori, okay, it kind of looks like Lois, and she's actually Superman, and she's actually an undercover cop. She's actually an undercover cop who is dealing with a bunch of people who hate God and God's fucking family, if that makes sense. And she is delegating like a whole bunch of like international things, and she was actually Hillary Clinton the whole time. So my mom is actually Hillary Clinton. And I don't have that picture. I don't have my mom's picture where she looks like Hillary Clinton, but there is a picture where I would scroll through my mom's Facebook, and all of a sudden I would see a picture of my mom, and she would look like Hillary Clinton. And then I went to my mom's like, "Mom, you look like Hillary Clinton. Like, so pretty, Mom. Like, in that picture you look like Hillary Clinton." And then she would just laugh, and she's like saying, "You're kidding me." Stuff like that, right? When in reality, my mom is actually Hillary Clinton. And she was forced to make herself uglier because people just want to believe that like Dark Pastel's family is like genetically dirty, and so Dark Pastel's mom has to be like the ugliest. She has to be like the ugliest woman in Vietnam because she is like, or else a lot of people were gonna scar up her fucking face to make sure it was like believable. So she just used like transformative magic to transform her face to be a bit uglier, when in reality my mom is actually just an Asian version of Hillary Clinton. And personality wise, actually pretty fucking similar. Pretty fucking similar. So, but she just hides it. Because Chinese people are gonna get mad again. Oh, well, the reason why that's Chinese is because Vietnamese people are fucking dirty, and, you know, China is like the motherland, the fatherland of Vietnam, stuff like that. And then they just get into a fight about how Vietnamese people did not think of that, but we did. And then they just keep stealing everything all the fucking time. But anyways, so that lady on that fucking phone who kept on fucking trying to talk to my mom on the fucking phone, what she did not know is that my mom owns the White House. And that my mom owns every single phone in the fucking world, but she owns the capital of every fucking country. So because that lady tried to call my mom on the fucking phone, my mom did in fact go to the fucking White House. And Hillary Clinton did start fucking talking about her. Because she did. Because she did. You guys remember that? You guys know how Hillary Clinton does talk about Chau. Hillary Clinton does talk to Chau. Do you guys remember that? So Hillary Clinton did go to the fucking White House, and she did talk about her. And then my mom did go to the capital of Japan. And then she did tell everyone that she is the prime minister. And she did fucking tell that bitch that she's permanently banned from Japan, too. Shit like that. That lady's talking to me right now. I'm realizing I made a mistake. Do you forgive me, Loy? Showing when you fucking bitch. Yeah, that's what she was fucking saying, so... Yeah, I think that's about it. I think I might hang up the phone soon because they're selling their soul to the devil to make me need a fucking poop. Because I got into an argument with them. So I really need a fucking poop right now. I know I don't really want to tell you guys that, but I had to call. I had to call the hospital, dude. I had to call the hospital, and at that hospital too, that mental illness hospital, they had a soul selling book there. It was crazy. It was a book about witchcraft there. So what happened is that some guy sold his soul to the devil, and then some demon gave him a fucking book. Okay, some demon gave some Mexican guy a fucking book, and he did not want that book. And this actually happened, okay? And he did not want that book anymore. And he did not want that book anymore because that book was like talking to him. It was like super fucking evil to him. Super fucking evil demonic book that he had received because he sold his soul to the devil about trying to fuck over the fucking toilet at the fucking hospital. And that was exactly what happened. And then soon after, okay, so what happened is that this pretty white girl at the hospital, she was one of like the caretakers, one of the nurses, and she gave that book. She was a blonde-haired and blue-eyed girl. She gave that book to like a mentally ill, demented version of Aerith. And that was what they were trying to do. They tried to fry her fucking hair, and they tried to stretch out her fucking face. So she did kind of look like Aerith. She did kind of look like Aerith, but like not really. But apparently, like the gods from heaven are saying like that's Aerith. That's like an ugly version of Aerith that they wanted because they want people to think that Aerith was actually fucking ugly. And that men are the supreme race, and that's what they were trying to do. So they're trying to erase Cece Frey. They're trying to erase like Belle Delphine, and then they're trying to put that girl on stage and say, "Oh, that girl was Aerith." Try to delete all the fucking videos and then replace it with an ugly version of Aerith. So that girl was at the hospital, and she was apparently mentally ill, which she was not. Which she actually was not. She was very nice. She had to create a android, a robot puppet in her place to make it seem like they were able to find someone like that. Someone who doesn't know what a fucking fork is. She think it's a fucking hairbrush. Like that type of girl. So what happened is that so that blonde-haired and blue-eyed girl went to Aerith, and that girl was pretty much brown-haired and green-eyed. Okay? And she said, "Oh, well, I know that you really wanted this book. And so because I'm your friend, I'm going to give you this book." And so she gave her that book. And then she said, "Oh, okay, thank you so much." And then what happened is that later on, that girl, her name was Samantha, which is not even her real name. But she gave her, that girl was like, "Chau, you can look at this book if you want." So I said, "Okay, sure." So I looked at that book, and then that book, it said witchcraft. How to make someone fall in love with you. And so what happened is like, it was like saying, if you're in love with someone, go ahead and write a poem about them and how you are in love with them. And when you write that poem, go ahead and make a summoning circle, a magic circle around that poem, around your love letter. And I want you to and go ahead and get some candles and whatever piece of item that you think is going to give you power, or like something that you think is beautiful, or something that you think is this or that, something like that, if that makes sense. And then go ahead and chant these words. And these words were seemingly not evil. Okay? It was seemingly not evil words. It said something like, today I would like to manifest my feelings and my heart and soul into this letter because I am in love. And I want this person to fall in love with me. So please help me. And then those were like the summoning words, right? So that's pretty much what the book said. And so it was something like that. But apparently, you know how sometimes ghosts and demons, like they try to pretend, oh, it's not that scary. Oh, it's not that scary. Like Pennywise movies. If you watch Pennywise movies, it's not really that fucking scary, right? It's because you guys saw the fake one. It's because he was pretending the whole time. If that makes sense. It's not that scary, right? But in reality, if you type in Pennywise GIFs, all of a sudden he gets really fucking scary. It's because he was pretending the whole time. Does that make sense? So they kind of do that thing where they pretend they're not that scary so that you approach it a bit better. And then they finally suck you back up into their realm, into their world. They teleport you over there with magic. They send you to fucking hell, and all of a sudden it's super fucking scary. And they've been doing that the whole fucking time. So that book, apparently, Lucifer explained to me, or Alex, I don't remember, that book was seemingly not fucking evil, but it was super fucking evil. It was super fucking evil book, and that it was hella fucked up that Chau even touched that book in the first place, because a demon had made that fucking book. And he had given that book to that Mexican guy because he was selling his soul to the devil to try to get Dylan Farrell to fall in love with him. Also, Chau and her friends and family, specifically, that's why a bunch of people that I knew from school were at that fucking hospital. And I only met them like once or 3 times, so I don't remember them too much, but that they went to school with me. But also Dylan Farrell's mom was there. And so what happened is that he also sold his soul to the devil to fuck over the toilet. And then after that book, okay, so what happened is that there was a black lady there, and she was a pretty black lady who had like CEO, like black American, like CEO. We're talking about like owning the company type clothing. And she was very nice to me. And she had to tell people, "Oh no, I'm homeless. Oh no, I'm sorry. I got these clothes from donations. I'm homeless. I'm homeless." And the reason why she did that was because she did not want those Mexican people to stalk her and to look for her again, or to think she was rich. And the reason why is because she kept wearing clothing that was like, oh shit, I think she owns a fucking company in America, dude. She's hella fucking rich. She's hella fucking rich. Like that's what I was thinking the whole fucking time. I was like, she's so fucking rich. Like, she's smart. Like, I don't know what she's doing here at a mental illness hospital if she's that fucking successful in life. If she's wearing clothing like that, you've never seen it before. Yeah, it's a suit. Yeah, it's a suit made for women. And you've seen nice ones before, but you've never seen it like that. That's what I mean. It was like, that's the real thing. It was like the real fucking deal. The stuff that you go to a tailor, you go to a wedding shop, you go to any store in the world. In the world. You just know that all of those are fucking fake. Too fucking hard, too fucking stiff looking. The material is kind of fucking cheap. But hers, it was the real fucking deal. CEO only, right? So it was like, so every single time I saw her, I was like, oh my God, I wonder what company she owns. I wonder, I want to know her fucking business. And I was like, oh, and I would ask her, oh, where'd you get those clothes? And I just don't remember. I try to be polite about it, but, just in gossip, in like speaking in pastime, I did ask her, like, oh, like, you're so pretty. Like, where'd you get your clothing? And then she was like, oh, these are donation. I got these from donations. Like, I'm homeless. And the reason why she did that was because she just did not want Mexican people to find out. Like, she's like corporate American, like CEO. Like, she does, in fact, own a bunch of companies in America. And she works in the Hollywood sector. Apparently, that's what God told me. But that lady, she took that book. She was like saying, Cho, like, this book is really fucking evil. Okay? You probably should have never even touched this book in the first place. God does not approve of this book. And the reason why she said that is because she is actually a God. She is actually a God. And she is the producer of a lot of things in Hollywood, like clothing in Hollywood, like for probably, the black sector, the black American sector. Like she is a producer. And so she knows a lot. So she is actually a god that can create a lot of things with magic. So she said, Cho, it's not a good thing that you even touch this book in the first place, but I can help you, and I can clean a lot of things more than you think. So I can help you clean that. But don't ever touch this book again. And I had to throw it away. I had to throw it away, okay, Cho? So that book can really hurt a lot of people. It can really hurt a lot of people. And I did not understand why she said that. I was thinking, oh, because it's like a selling your soul to the devil type of book, right? And she's like, stuff like that, yeah. But in reality, that book was actually a demon pretending to be a book. It transformed itself into a book, and it was actually looking at me, holding onto that book and reading it. Does that make sense? That book was like not necessarily breathing, because some people don't need it breathe, but that book was actually a live demon, and I was holding him in my hand, and he was a book, and he was reading my mind. He was reading what I was thinking, and he knew I was reading his fucking book, and he knew that I thought, oh, this is a pretty nice book. Oh, what this book is saying is pretty cool. It's like one of those like shoujo magic type of like spellcaster books is what I thought. I don't remember what it said, but it did not seem fucking evil, and that's exactly what he wanted. He wanted me to think, oh, I might want to keep this fucking book because it reminds me of shoujo magic type of like spellcasters, right? When in reality, he stole that passage from another fucking book. And it might even be an exact replica of that book. And then he was actually a demon thinking, oh, Cho might want to take me home as a fucking book. Does that make sense? So in the end, that book, that guy, he had sold his soul to the devil to get a copy of that book. And so a demon pretended to be that book, and then it started fucking talking to him and shit like that. And I did not fucking know. So thankfully, that black American lady, the pretty one, she was so pretty, she threw away the fucking book. And that's what she said. And that was it. And everyone was glad that she threw away that fucking book, because the lighting of the hallways in the hospital did fucking change around that fucking time. It had a bit more of like a grayish blue haunting fucking look. Do you guys know what I'm fucking talking about? And it kind of stayed that way afterwards. It never fucking changed back. But at least they got rid of that fucking book. So that lady and that guy, like that Asian lady, that Japanese lady, and that Mexican guy, they and my fake dad, they sold their souls to the devil to like it's to like get me to need to poop right now. But to be honest with you, like I've had really bad, like I was able to handle, to not handle, but take care of my bathroom situation in a very, like I was able to always make it on time. I was always able to be clean about it, stuff like that. But ever since after the mental illness hospital, like I've had like accidents I've never had before because they sold their soul to the devil to make me have an accident for the first time in my life. So anyways, I'm gonna fucking go. That Vietnamese lady, fucking evil. And I'll talk to you guys about her later. Bye guys.